Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kayla, and in today's video I wanted to do a little challenge. I know Heather from Heather McLary, basically. She did a challenge for like only reading library books for a month, and I don't think I can do that because I am a chronic mood reader, and I just wanted to challenge myself, and also because I have a lot of library books that kind of became available. So I wanted to get on this race and read as much of them as possible before they expire. So the choices for this week will be the Jasad Crown, which is the second book to the Jasad Heir. I enjoyed that. I'm curious, but I'm not like itching to read this. And then I have Terror at the Gates by Scarlett St. Clair. I am so excited because a lot of people, well, I've only heard one person rave about this book, and it's like Rachel by Ravenhair Reader. She loved it. It's an urban fantasy. I'm not too sure how I feel about urban fantasies. Like Crescent City is an urban fantasy, and it's not my favorite. So we'll see. We'll see if I like this. And then I have Gifted and Talented by Olivia Blake. I have mixed feelings about her writing. I loved, what was that one book? It was like the Romeo and Juliet retelling. And yeah, I don't remember what that's called. But I think it's One for My Enemy. I enjoyed One for My Enemy, and I hated Atlas 6. So it's like 2 for 2. I still need to read Masters of Death, but because this is time sensitive, I'm going to read this first. And then I have Hemlock and Silver by T. Kingfisher. This is a new release. My library, unfortunately, has like Boundless as well, so it's only on like your iPad or your phone, and I hate that reading experience. So this is less likely that I'm going to be reading Hemlock and Silver, but like I just want to put it out there because it is available to me now and I get to read it. I borrowed it, so maybe I'll read it. And then I have Beautiful Ugly, which is a physical copy that I borrowed for my library. And then I have The Frugal Wizard's Handbook for Surviving Medieval England by Brandon Sanderson. I'm so excited about that. I don't know if I'm going to read it though, because I am pretty busy with work, and it's easier for me to read on a device on my break than on a physical copy because I have to go to my locker and all of that, etc. I don't know if I'm going to get to those 2 physical copies. And then, really exciting, I just got a notification this morning that I got my hold for Catabasis. I think that's how you say it, by R.F. Kuang. And I'm so excited because I love, love, love dark academia. One of my favorite genres, subgenre, I think. And it's got like demonic, the 7 levels of hell, something like that. Some levels with demons, and it's dark academia. So that is really exciting. So those are my choices. I don't know if I'm actually going to be doing this for a week. It might be longer because I have a lot going on. So it might be longer. It might be depending on if I finish all of these books, if I am able to finish all of these books before they expire, or just a week. So we'll see. You guys, so the first book that I wanted to read in this kind of challenge of only reading library books for a week, or however long it takes for me to get through all my holds, I'm reading Terror at the Gates. And I spent all day yesterday pretty much reading this, and I am now 200 pages in, 280 pages into it, excuse me. And that's about like 60% through. And that is pretty awesome. It is reading really quick, and basically we are following Lily. In this world, I guess there are districts that are connected to the church. So I guess the main figurehead in this city is the church. It's not like the king, the queen, it's the church. And the people who run the districts, I guess, because they're like the most influential, the richest, the most powerful in each district, are also connected to the church. And our main female character comes from that one family called the Leviathan, but because of certain expectations in this world of like the girls getting married off into like whatever the dad chooses, and the male in this world gets to use the female's power, etc., etc. It's all convoluted, and it's kind of like church based, which I kind of understand. But she decides to gain independence, and because her dad loves her so much, she lets her, and so she runs away to Nineveh. I think Nineveh. Basically another district, and that district is run by Zavarith because his father died, and so he is basically running this district, and she has had this longest crush on him, but he's older and he doesn't really act on that because she is younger and kind of from a rival family, etc., etc. And so to make a living, she basically just steals and resells that to all of the, I don't know, like underground places that steals like precious things. So she stole this dagger from this one guy, and she goes and sells it. And then the guy that she sells it to dies. And then it's kind of this like ball of events that just unfold a whole lot of secrets. A lot of people die left and right, and it kind of got really emotional a little bit ago because one of the characters died, and I was like, oh my god, like I kind of expected this. Once they introduced this one character, I was like, they're gonna die. And they did. And I guess it is really easy to read because how the family dynamics are, how the district works. It's kind of like a mafia romance. Like just the influential part and like the sins and how the city works and like the sex workers. Like magic is not a prominent thing. Only select few individuals have magic, and therefore it's leaning more like a dystopian, but I know this is actually like fantasy. But it's more like, what is it called? Like a modern fantasy. Like they have like phones and stuff. Oh. And yeah, so I'm really enjoying this because I love mafia romances. So this is like mafia with a little bit of fantastical elements and like the church. Like, are you kidding me? This is all my gothic dreams in one book. I am having a great time. There is a lot of tension. I don't know if there's a lot of pining. It's mostly just tension. Like I know they're both attracted to each other, but like they're not acting on it, which is strange. I don't know what Zavrith's reasoning is, but he is taking so good care of her because, I mean, our main female character thinks that it's because she's from an influential family and he made a promise to her dad, but like I don't think so. I think this is all just coming from the goodness of his heart, and he actually cares about her. So I'm going to continue reading this. I might finish this today, and we'll see what I get up to next. I think I'm going to read this one book by Olivia Blake because it's due in 6 days. Gifted and Talented. And yeah, I think I'm going to read that. Okay, so I am still reading, what is this called? Terror at the Gates by Scarlett St. Clair. And we have gotten a lot more answers about demons and what the hell is going on. And I am starting to get really excited about the second book. I know there's going to be a second book. If there isn't, I will be so pissed. But it is now 70% in the book, right? And we are finally starting to get, I don't know, like actual tension, like romantic tension between Zahariv and Lily. And oh my God. It is so good. I love mafia romances. I love a dark, broody character and someone that's incredibly protective of the girl. I know she's spoiled. I know she grew up from like a rich family, but she is actively trying to unlearn things. I have forgiven her for all of her spoiled brat attitudes because I know that Zahariv just understands everything, and I love that. I just got a confession from him, and yeah, it's so good. Okay, I need to look it up because I cannot wait for the second book. Like, I'm not even done with this book, and I can't wait for the second book already. Oh, it doesn't come out until August of next year. Respectfully, Miss St. Clair, hurry up. Hurry up, please. Respectfully, I cannot wait. I can't believe how good this book is. I was not expecting it to be this good. Okay, you guys. So I finished Terror at the Gates by Scarlett St. Clair, and I think I'm gonna give that 4 stars just because I feel like it took a lot to get to where we ended up. I understand it's the first book, but I feel like the first part kind of took a really long time to build up, and the second half kind of felt a little bit rushed. It felt like things were happening back to back to back. I mean, I guess that's kind of like the point of the book. Like, it was a slow escalation of events, and I was not expecting the ending, but yeah, I mean, I feel like it's still really good. I still recommend you reading it. It's just not 5 stars. I still think that I'll be very excited for the next book to come out. I don't know if I can wait a whole year though without forgetting any of the plot points. But that's that. Now I am reading Gifted and Talented by Olivia Blake, and it is a hit or miss for me. Like, Olivia Blake's writing is a hit or miss because she writes things in the most intricate, floral, run-on way possible. Like, she was explaining how dirty the back of this car was, and she was listing out all the wrappers that were there, every possible disgusting thing that you can find, and it's just one long run-on sentence, and it kind of makes my head feel so full. Like, it makes me so tired just reading it. Not like I'm sleepy tired, like my head is full. It felt like I studied for so long. But I'm still going to read it because we are following 3 siblings, the Wren family, who they are all gifted in a sense that they have magical abilities, and they are also kind of messed up in their own way. I don't know yet if it was the family situation that messed them up, or it's kind of just who they are as a person, but each of the sibling have something that's kind of just messed up in their head, whether they're like unable to feel emotions or make their emotions known, and one who kind of just has a voice in their head and just always craves love, and then one who is obsessive compulsive. And one of these siblings have to inherit the empire, basically, Ren Industries. I don't actually know what their company does. There was an explanation by this narrator god figure. I still don't understand it because of the writing. I don't think Olivia Blake's writing is something that I reach for, but I like kind of the characters, like how messed up they are, and seeing what happened 5 years ago, because for each of the sibling, something happened 5 years ago that kind of had their magic manifest, and also like just something messed up happen in their lives. And I kind of want to know who inherits the company, even though the company's kind of messed up as well. But yeah, I mean, I think I'm only like 9 chapters in. I am 18% through. I'm 100 pages in, and it is making my head feel so full. I am not promising that I am going to finish this. I might DNF this at some point if it gets too annoying. Okay, so I don't actually have much to say about Gifted and Talented, but I am now 70% through, and let me just say that all of these characters are so unlikable because they just think that they're the center of the world, and whatever is going on in their head is more important than whatever is happening outside. They don't feel loved. They don't feel like they deserve love. And despite so many people actually caring about them, they still feel lacking. And when they do recognize people loving them, they kind of push them away, and or they abuse them, which is just awful. And then you have the youngest sibling, Elid, Ely. I don't actually know. Ailey. I don't know how to say her name, but she just is so sweet and naive, and I feel like there is this secret that this father is keeping, and it makes everybody think that she is going to inherit Rendom or whatever. Renfair is the family's like company, kingdom, whatever. And she is starting to have confidence that she will inherit the company, but it's making me think, based on how the lawyers are acting, it's making me think otherwise. Like, I feel like there is a certain mystery to it, because like, why is this author writing about this family and the inheritance? Like, someone else will most likely be inheriting the company. There's some twisted way that we're building up to, and I'm really intrigued. I'm 70% through. I really want to DNF this because I'm so tired of the characters, but I'm intrigued. I want to see who ends up with a company. And then now we have this narrator So initially, it was introduced to us as God, but then you realize that it's actually one of the characters in this book, and it's like, okay, is she a witch? What is she? What is her importance in this story? Why is she the narrator? Like, I want to know. I'm intrigued. As long and as run on her sentences are, I'm intrigued. Okay, so I finished, what is it called? Oh, crap. I suck at names. Gifted and Talented by Olivia Blake. And I gave it 3 stars. I don't know, it felt like general fiction with a little bit of magic, mystery ish. It wasn't, yeah, like it wasn't completely fantasy, it wasn't completely mystery. It was mostly just family drama about like rich people with magical abilities and a lot of stories about love, happiness, loneliness, grief. And I honestly kind of just wanted an extended prologue. It kind of ended where we expected it to end. And I think I wanted a little bit more from this book. And so I gave it 3 stars. It wasn't remarkable. There was a lot of run on sentences per her writing style. It's extremely floral, a lot of adjectives that was just unnecessary. And so, yeah, that was that. And now I still have a lot of books on my radar to read next, and I don't know what I want to read next. So, on my Libby shelf, I still have The Jasad Crown, and I borrowed Anne of Green Gables the other day. So, I could read Anne of Green Gables or The Jasad Crown. I could possibly, it would be a good idea to read the sequel or the sequel to The Jasad Heir so that I won't forget it any more than I already have. But I also have Hemlock and Silver that I checked out on Boundless. Unfortunately, this is so annoying that my library also uses Boundless, and I don't think you can get this app on any Kindle, Kobo, or any other reading device besides like an iPad. And so it's just, I'm gonna have to sacrifice my vision if I wanted to read Hemlock and Silver, which I really do because I've heard a lot of really good reviews about. But I also have physical copies of books. I have Beautiful Ugly by Alice Feeney and The Frugal Wizard's Handbook for Surviving Medieval England by Brandon Sanderson. This is part of a secret project. I don't know what I want to read next. Honestly, I am leaning towards, I really want to read all of this, but like this book has a lot of like mixed media. It has like drawings and a newspaper article and then a comic area. And this looks like a lot of fun. I could be down for this. It is 300 something pages long, which is not too bad because I am almost going back to work. I have 2 days left. I don't know what I would want to read in that time. I don't know if I'm going to extend this video longer than a week, to be honest. So we'll see. Good morning, you guys. Good morning. So, I decided to pick up Hemlock and Silver, and I am 100 pages into it, and I'm really enjoying it. I mean, it's T. Kingfisher. It's fantasy T. Kingfisher, so it's obviously going to be good. So basically, we're following this healer named Anja, I think is how you say her name, but this healer. And she is a glorified healer. She's not really a healer. She is, I guess, versed in poisons, and because she knows poisons, she studies poison, she also knows the other side of it, like antidotes. And majority of the time she heals, or I guess saves, like lotus poisoning, which is, I think, in modern day is kind of like narcotics poisoning, or not poisoning, like overdose. And basically she Narcans them in this like simpler time Narcan. And she we get to like the very beginning of this book, and the king just knocks on her door and basically asks is like a nice way of telling it, but he basically tells her to he's a nice king. So I don't know why I'm saying, like, I'm making it sound like he's demanding her to fix his child who may or may not be poisoned, but he is basically recruiting her to save his child who he thinks is being poisoned. There's this whole drama of like what happened to his wife and then his other daughter, so he's trying to save his last daughter. And so she goes on this journey. You know, T. Kingfisher, for the most part, the two books that I read, they're like on the road. There's some version of them being on the road, and it shows how quirky the character is. And I love that. She's so quirky. There's just something funny about these characters. Like, they're bigger, and they are, like, I guess they're, like, majority of T. Kingfisher's, like, female characters. They're on, I guess, the more masculine build. Like, they have broad shoulders. They are really tall for a girl. I mean, I'm pretty sure this girl is like 6 feet tall, so she's tall. And she has some meat to her bones. And I love that. I love how she describes herself, and the fact that she's not like any other courtier or courtesan or whatever court people. And she just does not have a filter. I feel like there's this overarching, I don't know, theme between T. Kingfisher's like women and main female characters. They're all just like no nonsense. They don't care about, I don't know. I think they just talk before they actually think. And so that should tell you what kind of people they are. And so I think there's going to be like a Narnia aspect of this. Like, I read on Goodreads like the synopsis, because I was like, what am I reading about? Like, why is this king recruiting her on the very first page? And I don't think this girl is actually poisoned. The healer, is actually going to go into this mirror and like figure out this world. There's some sort of Narnia aspect, I'm guessing, but I'm 109 pages into this, and I haven't seen anything about her going into this mirror. But I know there's a mirror that, like, there's a special mirror that's only built in a different city, and it's extremely special, and there's some creepy things that happen, and I'm like, oh my gosh. I haven't read T. Kingfisher's horror before, but I can see a hint of it, because she, like, there was this one scene where the girl was like combing her hair, or she was looking in the mirror, and she had this creepy, eerie look to her face, and I was like, oh my God. It felt like it was written simply, but it still gave me the chills. And so now I kind of want to read her horror novels. Like, I wonder what that's like. I have like a handful of them in my shelves. I don't know why I do, because I'm scared of horror, but I should probably pick it up since it's also like October time. But my plan for today is to read a majority of this. Today is like my last day off before I go back to work. Hopefully finish it. I don't know if I have time to finish it. And I still want to go to Target and get Wild Card, which is the fourth book. Yes, the fourth book in Elsie Silver's like single dad romance group. So that's the plan for today. We'll see. It's only like 8:36. We'll see what I get up to. I just got home from Target and I had a little bit of a lunch because I was starving. I didn't eat breakfast. And now I'm like low-key tempted to make a lunch and a breakfast because I'm still a little bit hungry. Anyway, I digress. Look what I got. I got these cute little pumpkin, I don't know, what are these called? Like just napkins, tea towels, rags, but they're really cute. And then I got boring old hangers because we keep buying stuff and we don't have any more hangers. I don't know what happens to them. Honestly, I don't know. And I got these Beautify vitamin C brightening patches because I'm almost out of the ones that I got from Sephora. Hold on, let me get them. Really do enjoy these. They're by the Topicals Faded, I think. And I only have one left and I want to wait until the next Sephora sale to buy everything that I need because I don't want to pay full price. And so I decided to try out this Pixie one. I heard a lot of really good things about this one as well. So I decided, why not give it a try? I'm just gonna keep it in the fridge so it's nice and cold. Oh, there's so many layers to this. It doesn't smell like anything. Ooh, it has a little spatula. Okay, that smells promising. I don't know why I smelled it like I could tell if it's gonna be good or not. And then I got shampoo and conditioner. I got the glossing one. I have been trying to do drugstore products just because I no longer bleach my hair, so I don't feel like I need the best quality or like the most non-stripping shampoo and conditioner. I can just do whatever with my natural hair because it's pretty resilient. So I decided to go with this glossing one because now I just have pure black dark hair and I need to give it a little bit of life and dimension. So I decided to get that. And then I'm out of my oil-free like waterproof mascara eye remover thing from Neutrogena. So I got that and so Target actually didn't have this in stock, like in person. So I had to go to Barnes & Noble, which is so annoying. But I got the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition of Wild Card and okay, so it's going to match the mountain scene. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Yeah, that's literally the reason why I went out into the world, just to get this. I think they're gonna stop, like after, only the first print will have the mountain. So the next prints would no longer have the mountain and it wouldn't complete my set. But I'm really excited. I know the guy in this is like a pilot. I'm in Elsie Silver's like mailing list, so kind of have an idea as to like what inspired her to write this, but I'm excited. I think this is the first book that's not directly related to the main family from Chestnut Springs, because the first book was Willa's brother. The second book was Willa's brother's best friend, Wes. And the third book was the best friend, but like childhood best friend. So like they're like really closely related. I think this one is part of their bowling group, I think. I could be wrong, but the girl from Barnes & Noble said that she thought it was really good. She started on her Kindle. So I'm like, yes. I can't start it right now because I'm still in this challenge of only reading library books. So best believe as soon as this finishes, I'm picking this up. I need to. Okay, so I don't know why I picked up this really hot tea, But I wanted to give you guys an update because I am still reading Hemlock and Silver. I know it's taking me so long to get through a book, but it's because, like I said, I'm in a new unit. I'm on day shift. I am always exhausted because I'm learning so many new things. And then when I get home, I still have to study. So I don't really have the time to read because on my day off, I have to do all sorts of things like hang out with my cat and take care of stuff. But I'm making through this book and I take it back. It is not like Narnia. It's a lot like Alice in Wonderland. I think this might actually be like a rendition, or I forgot what they're called, but like a version of Alice in Wonderland. It's inspired by Alice in Wonderland because now this hilarious main female character is visiting the mirror side of the world, and it is great. I mean, it's not as silly goofy as T. Kingfisher's other writing. It's still silly. It still has that character, that whimsical, goofy character. Not goofy, but just silly. Not as silly as the other books, though. Like that one, the plot is so silly. This one kind of makes sense because it's inspired by a book that we already know and love. But hopefully I finish this soon because I have to go on an educational trip on Monday and I'm gone for a week. So I can't really update you guys because I don't want to. I'm going to be in a hotel all sad. So hopefully I finish it this weekend. Okay, so I know, weird ankle all over again. I know, I did this last time, but I finished Hemlock and Silver and I gave it 5 stars. It was so freaking good. I was not expecting that to be that good. I really enjoyed the Alice in Wonderland aspect, except it was kind of like a silly, really silly main female character. The romantic subplot was interesting. It was, I don't know, there was kind of like a miscommunication or misunderstanding that was not annoying, let me tell you. It's not annoying, but it wasn't the main focal point, and I loved that. The mystery aspect. So this actually kind of like brought out T. Kingfisher's like horror writing style. There's some fantastical, gross aspect to this. Like it took like a darker turn to Alice in Wonderland, and I loved it. I ate it all up. It was so good. I love T. Kingfisher's writing. There's just something about it that tickles my brain. Like the characters on their adventure kind of, I don't know, like how she just describes it, how the characters go about the adventure and how silly and kind of like they're really smart, but they're like stupid at the same time, and I relate to that. I loved it. And I think that's it. I'm not going to be reading the rest of the books because one, they expired, or Just Odd Crown is going to expire soon. Anne of Green Gables is going to expire soon. I basically let the next person take Catabasis, and I'm just going to read it next time when it comes available again because I want to read my new releases. Like there's a new Elsie Silver book that came out on Tuesday. Like other physical copies of books that I want to read, and also like a bunch of Kindle books that I want to read. So I'm going to end the video here. I hope you guys enjoy this video of me like struggling to read library books. It's kind of more than a week now. I have just been really busy. I'm sorry. But I read Scarlett St. Clair's Terror at the Gates. That was so good. The urban fantasy was top notch. It wasn't really fantasy. It was giving like mafia romance with, not romance, like mafia setting with a little bit of church magic, which is great. And then, oh, I read Gifted and Talented. That, I just don't like Olivia Blake's writing. It has to be, I don't know, the plot has to be really engaging for me to love it. This was something to get through, so didn't really like that, but it was something to read. And then I loved Hemlock and Silver. So overall, it was a great reading experience. I love Libby. I love the library, especially now that I can't buy any more books because I don't have the room to read or to buy more books. So I have to get through my physical TBR and unhaul a bunch of books before I get to buy more. So I don't get to buy any of these new releases, and that's why the library is so handy. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.